It'll be a pretty quick video because it's boiling hot out here, but I don't know if you can see, but we're under a big shade tree over there. Actually it's coming from that tree there, a big native tree. And tomatoes don't need full sun like they tell you. In fact, I find they do better with a bit of filtered shade, so this will shade until about 3 o'clock this afternoon odd, and then it will sort of move back around and they get the morning sun. So I find that's the best for tomatoes. They don't particularly like full heat, especially here where it's very dry and very hot. It's about 31 degrees Celsius here at the moment. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit for American viewers, but I'm sure I can look it up and put it in the description for you so you get a bit of an idea of how warm it is. And the humidity is pretty high at the moment, which is unusual for this area at this time of year. We do get a bit humid at Christmas time. I suppose we are getting pretty close to Christmas time now, but I'm talking after Christmas usually. But you know, we all know the weather's doing funny things at the moment. So this is a tomato plant, as I was talking about them in my intro video for Shed Wars. And these are the side shoots that I'm talking about that can be plucked off. They're not much use to the plant, and they're sort of taking up nutrients and water and things that could be put into, just wait for that truck to go past, that can be put into making tomatoes. So we want to grow tomatoes and not leaves. So these are what you're looking for as far as the lateral branches. For those of you who can't see, like me, well, I can see a little bit, but who can't see at all even, they're like a horizontal branch, and they've got different leaves. They're sort of flat leaf rather than sticking up like that. For those of you who can see, they're sort of flat, and that's your lateral branches. I don't tend to take the top ones off. I leave them there for a bit of shade for the rest of the plant, but especially anything sort of under this level I'll take off. I'll take this one off. There's a couple underneath that I haven't taken off yet, and that will then clear it up. There's a bit of stickiness going on in here, so probably some fungal growth or something going on in there because it's not exposed to the air enough. So by pulling those branches off, it tends to make it a lot healthier as a plant, and it tends to make it produce a lot more fruit. And I will show you one that is producing fruit up in a different section, but that's how we prune them and how I've pruned that one as well, so you can actually see what's going on. As far as feeding these plants, you can see that this topsoil is terrible. It's typical Stanthorpe topsoil, but underneath I've actually fed it, when I planted it, with a couple of banana skins for the potassium, because that's really important for creating tomatoes. And I've given it some calcium from a horse feed supplement, because we have horses here, ponies here, that we feed that too, and calcium is very important to stop the end rot on tomatoes. And it also had some magnesium and some phosphorus, which are really good minerals to feed your tomato plants. And you can get different sources of these, but that's just what I had on hand, and that seems to work fine for me. But things like Epsom salts, you can get basically anywhere at your supermarket. That's a great magnesium supplement. You can get potassium, as I said, with banana skins. You can actually get it separate as well as a mineral, but I tend to find that the more organic you can go, or the more soluble, I guess, you can go, the better. Calcium, lime is probably a good source for calcium, as far as, you know, a cheap garden supplement that you can use. But like I said, or even eggshells, things like that, if you're looking at doing it frugally, which we use as well. We use eggshells. We've got chickens. You can probably hear the rooster, I'm not sure, but the rooster's going off in the background. So that's a good source of calcium as well. But you definitely want the calcium the phosphorus and the potassium and the magnesium for tomato plants to get the best yield, and that's also going to put the minerals into those tomatoes, so when you're eating those, you're getting those as well, as far as the things that the tomato actually makes. Your vitamin C's and all that sort of stuff is going to be a lot higher when your nutrient level in the ground is better, because it has more to convert into other minerals and vitamins and so forth. So keeping those as organic and as helpful to the earth as possible is really important to us, especially because we like to care for our earth as well as care for ourselves and other people as well, with healthy food, and exposing even kids particularly kids who are a bit fussy. I seem to find that they will actually eat stuff out of the garden that they've helped grow or maintain, and they tend to find it's a lot sweeter, as we do too, than store-bought tomatoes or whatever the product is. So definitely for exposure and that sort of thing to people who may not otherwise know where food comes from, keeping those minerals and nutrients up to the plants. These will be fed with worm juice every couple of weeks, and we also usually mulch as well, but I haven't done that this year. It's just been a crazy year and I've been too busy and haven't got there, but with these particular ones they haven't been mulched. And I'll also use some chicken manure out of the chicken coop that's been aged a bit. I find they don't mind it too much. Some say tomatoes don't like manure, but I've used horse manure and chicken manure for years and never had any issues with tomato plants. In fact, they've grown quite well. This one's been in the ground not too long, probably 6 weeks or so. It was bought from Bunnings, I think. I bought a whole heap of seedlings because at the time we were having trouble with greenhouses getting blown over and things, so I wasn't sure if we were going to get any seeds started. I did end up getting seeds started, but I wanted to get the tomatoes in as soon as possible so that we can get the most growth out of them and hopefully get some tomatoes for Christmas, which we may do on the other plants. This particular plant hasn't got any on it, I don't think. I can't feel any on it. There is flowers on it, but they haven't got tomatoes on it yet, and it's probably because I haven't pruned it properly, because again we've had a pretty busy year. But anyway, I'll go up now and I'll show you the one that has been pruned and has tomatoes on it, and that will conclude our tomato video, and I can go back into the house where it's a bit cooler because it's very hot out here, especially for us. Maybe Brisbaneites might find it a bit cooler, but we certainly find it very, very hot and very horrible with this humid weather. So that's the lateral branches I was talking about removing from the plant, and a bit of information on nutrients. And I know you experienced gardeners probably know all about this, but for beginners, and certainly I had to learn all this through the years that I've been doing it, probably don't. So just some little tips on how to get the most harvest out of your tomato plants. So we'll go up now and have a look at one that's actually got some fruit on it and that has been pruned back, and I'll show you what I mean by the fruit. I think this one's got about 1, 2, I don't know, we'll say about 4 flowers on it. It hasn't got any fruit on it yet. It probably will very soon though. It looks like it's about to start fruiting. So that's a pretty big plant as far as width and stuff goes. It will look a lot smaller when I prune it back, and it will grow a lot taller through the season. But yeah, just to give you an idea. So here we have our tomato plant that has been doesn't want to stay in the fence for some reason. Has been pruned up, and you can see down here we've got some beautiful fruit there, beautiful fruit here. So how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one hasn't fruited yet, and that one hasn't fruited yet. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I just counted the same one, so we'll go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and this one's quite young too. This one was planted at the same time as the other one was. Oh, there's another one. What are we up to? 12? Is that another one or the same as the other one? Same. So there's about 12, 13, 14 under here. So you can see a lot more fruit. More here. And that's going to be staked up too. I just haven't come along and put it through the fence, and that's why I keep some of the lateral branches so that it will actually just hook onto the fence like that. I never tied tomatoes too much. I find they normally sit where you want them to sit and just sit there, and they'll grow out and hang onto the fence themselves. A lot of people find benefit in tying, and that's great, but I just haven't found much benefit in tying them up. So yeah, there's my tip for getting more yield out of your tomato plants. You can see there's a lot more fruit, it's all open, so there's less chance of getting fungal growth and bacterial infections and so forth because it's all exposed. The fruit's also exposed to the sun, so it's going to ripen a lot faster, and it's also not mulched like the other one. So yeah, it's in better soil probably all over this bed because it's more controlled in this area, but it probably isn't too much better because, like I said, I did fertilize each plant when I put it in, and did sprinkle some what's that stuff called, dynamic lifter, over the plants. We've got some borage here as a companion for the tomatoes, bringing those pollinators and so forth, and some basil down in here as well because basil loves tomatoes, or tomatoes loves basil. It is very hot out here, so it's not looking the best. It will perk up this afternoon again. It's just so hot out here, and yeah, so you can kind of see that the borage provides a bit of shade for the tomatoes. So there you go, that's our tomato video as promised. I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll catch you probably. I'll do a bit of a tour on the whole 5 acres here as far as gardens go, maybe show you the ponies as well if that's something you want to see, and the chickens and so forth. But yeah, that's the tomato video that I did promise to do, and my tips on how to get the most yield out of your tomatoes, and you even get to see the full experiment. Excuse the mess here, I just pulled some kale off the fence that I was drying for seed. So yeah, next video we'll have a look around the place. A little tomato seedling in a pot, started from seed, and the creeping thyme over here. So it hasn't died yet. It's so hot. I've just brought him in the shade because it was getting a bit heat stressed out there. You can see the dirt's a bit dry over there. I just give him a water. So yeah, we'll see how he goes. He's only very young. I think he's about a couple of weeks old since starting from seed, so he's a little cherry tomato. I'm not sure what colour. I bought heirloom cherry tomato seeds of all different colours, so I don't know what colour this one will be yet, whether it'll be black or a red or an orange or a yellow or a, I suppose you call it blue. Don't know yet, but we will find out. So there you go, and I've put the stake in already just to, it's probably not big enough, so I'll probably support it on the outside a bit, but just so that there's something there while it's growing, so it doesn't disturb the roots when I go to put something in there for it to crawl up. And then I'll probably support the stake from the outside to keep the tomato upright, because I think in a pot, I haven't grown them in a pot before, but I think in a pot they'll need a bit more support because I haven't got the fence. So we'll see how that goes.